Hi everyone, it's Madeline from Travel Beyond the Obvious, and today in this short video I want to talk about the concept of off the beaten path. So everyone wants to go off the beaten path, or at least they say they do. And here's where I always like to pause and say, do you really want to go off the beaten path? Like, how far off the beaten path do you want to go? Do you want to get into areas of the country where there's nobody speaks English, there isn't really any infrastructure? How deep into the local culture do you really want to go? And what you really find is that most people, A, don't want to be that level of off the beaten path. They want to be like half an hour off the beaten path, or they want to be like around the corner from the beaten path, and very close to the beaten path, but not exactly far away. And the second thing is that, do you really want to skip all the things that make your destination famous? So, for example, I don't recommend that people go to Rome and skip the Colosseum just because it's so busy. And so I usually focus on a different way to approach famous sites. So, for example, that could be by booking a private tour instead of a bigger group tour. And so you have a private guide that, pulls you into the corner and really you're hanging on their every word because they're telling such an amazing story and they're bringing history to life, and you don't notice all the people standing around you because this guide is so engaging, and because it's a private tour you can get in really close, and maybe the guide takes you around the corner and points out some little graffiti and tells a story about that, and so you feel like you're seeing some additional layers of history. So there's that. There's kind of the way to see a famous site, and then there's also you can pair a famous site with something that's less famous. So for example, we send our travelers to the Colosseum, and then after the Colosseum, they go across the street and they might visit something like the Basilica of San Clemente, which is like a church on top of a church on top of a church on top of a church. And so you can go way down into the depths of this church and its archaeology and its history and its stories, and it's exploring and discovering, and you're doing this right after you did the Colosseum, so it kind of mitigates the touristy factor. So that's just kind of a different couple of suggestions on how to talk to your clients when they tell you they want to get off the beaten path, and that's the types of conversations that we have with our travelers. See you in the next video.